Hello and welcome to Conservation Central Network. We're going to do a director's cut here. It's not a professional video. This is one of the directors talking to you one-on-one and presenting the concept of Conservation Central Network. And that's me, Campbell Scott. You'll find me on the website there. And we're going to go through a four-part series in introducing the Conservation Central Network concept. So our theme is saving the world's forests. We've been at this for 4 years, and we've put together a concept that can do the job, providing we find the right environment and the right vehicle, which we believe we have. So the next slides will introduce to you why we chose this particular concept, who's involved, and what potentials are there, and why you should consider looking seriously as a business opportunity for yourself. So this is part 1 of 3, plus there's a bonus part 4, and let's get into the presentation right now. One of the things that we have presented to us in the media every day is the world's big problems. Apart from everything else that's going on in the news every day, there's talk about climate shift, climate change, and large-scale forest destruction, apart from everything else that's going on. But the biggest things that are influencing the planet right now is climate change and climate shift. Our belief is, apart from the pollution that we're pumping into the air, the Earth has been greatly diminished because of the loss of forests, and this has to stop. Over 50% of the planet's forests have been destroyed, which has resulted in large-scale climate shift. That's the weather patterns shifting around the Earth, and you see it in the news and the media every day. So that's the two things that we're concentrating on out of the 7, and probably 7,077 problems that face mankind today. The two that we've decided to focus on are climate shift and large-scale forest destruction. Now, we always ask you to check what we say and what we do. And thousands of hectares are destroyed every day, and with Google we're able to look at that, and I suggest and encourage you to go and type in the word deforestation, and these are the sort of images that you'll be confronted with. Unless you're living in the forests and around pristine virgin areas where most of us don't live, we live in the big cities, you're not going to realize how bad and how far-reaching the destruction is. And the only way we believe this can be done is if we incentivize people to help save the forests. It's in the news, it's in all the major media each and every day. There's no escaping it. Governments are very worried about it, big business is worried about it, and this is filtering down to the man on the street, us, and there's time to do something about it. There's many people and organisations doing something about it. Here's just a few. Sure you'll recognise a lot of these organisations: World Wildlife Fund, Conservation International, one of my favourites, Greenpeace, and the Rainforest Alliance. They're not associated with Conservation Central Network, but these are organisations we know and support, and we ask you to support them also. The point that we saw with these particular organisations, they all work on people's generosity and donate now, and while that's all and good, we believe there's a better way or an alternative way to do this, not detracting from anything that these organisations do. The donate buttons do bring in a lot of money, but we believe that trade is better than aid. Who else is doing something out there other than these organisations? Well, it's high on the agenda of governments, banks, big business, charities, and hundreds of celebrities. And here's just a few. Once again, they're not affiliated with our company, but these are a few of the celebrities and dignitaries that we would like to recognise that are at the forefront of doing something actively out there in the world to curb this huge problem that we have. Now, who else is going green? Now, we've talked about the celebrities. Big business is going green as well. You'll see the trend towards green, changing their corporate colours. One company that you'd never have thought that would go away from their traditional, well-recognised corporate colours, and here we are in Argentina. They've decided to go green and change their corporate colours, and how they want to be recognised as a business that's concerned about the environment. Now, who is CCN? We're an Australian company based in Adelaide. It was established by two seasoned network marketers, and it's myself, Campbell Scott, and Aminio Kotler, and we saw what was happening out there in the marketplace, and we determined that it was better to financially incentivize people to take action rather than rely on their generosity. So we put together a plan in 2010, launched the first part of our business in 2011. Here we are in 2015, about ready to go into phase 2 through Asia. What do we do? Our main core business at this point in time is we work to secure and protect large areas of virgin forests using our unique 30-year conservation management systems, and these systems in time produce carbon credits. CCN purchases the carbon credits with the help of the global experts and landowners. Aminio and myself are marketing people. We're not experts in the area of land management and carbon credits, so we employ the experts to do this for us. And when they're employed to do that, they help develop long-term business and financial benefits for the local people with our exclusive Little Green Token program that we've just introduced. And we'll talk more about that a little bit later on. Now, I want to give you an example here just so you're up to speed with what we're doing. We all know about petroleum and that it's a fossil-based fuel, and these companies pretty much run the planet right now because of the massive reliance that we have on fossil-based fuels for all our transportation. The big oil companies use and deplete resources, while conservation systems protect and grow resources. So let's do a comparison so you can see that we're not too far apart from what they're doing. The first thing you've got to do is research and find the oil. We've got to find the forest. Well, that's not too hard, but we've got to find the people that own the forest and then do the management agreements with them. The oil companies have to determine how much oil is in the ground. We've got to determine how many hectares are within the forest management agreements that we draw up. The next thing is the oil companies put a valuation on it. They're able to, through scientific means, value the amount of oil and gas that's under the ground there. Even before it's out of the ground, they're able to put a value on it. We do the same thing. We put a valuation of the resources within the hectares of the forest that we've secured through the agreements, and that gives us a valuation just like the oil companies. And there's many ways to value these particular endangered forests. There's about 16 different areas that we identify that we can obtain value from. The oil companies then pump the oil. We develop the resources. The oil companies then go ahead and sell the oil. They usually pre-sell it even before it's pumped out of the ground. We also sell the production. We pre-sell the carbon credits and the resource systems that can be realized from the forest projects. And here's some of the projects that we have. Papua New Guinea, in Australia. We're looking at Colombia and Peru, and there's more under negotiation all the time because some projects come to fruition quickly, and some projects change, and some projects actually drop off the system. So right now we're concentrating on Peru, which we have carbon credits from, Papua New Guinea and Australia. We do have other projects, we have had other projects, but they're the three main projects that we're working on right now. Now with these pristine forests, they're all divided up like squares on a chessboard basically, and from these forests we're able to generate hundreds of carbon credits per hectare. Now these carbon credits are used for companies to offset their pollution. They're used as carbon offsets, and that is mandated by a lot of countries now, that companies must offset the pollution that they're pumping into the atmosphere. So each hectare that we protect actually has projections of 300 or more carbon credits per hectare. Now those 30-year land management agreements that we put in place through our partner company Lemco outsource the contracts to the experts who develop and manage the land projects. And for you as a member of CCN, you can spend $120 to help save a hectare, and we reward you with cash commission, eco bonuses, valuable tokens and other bonuses. 1 hectare can produce up to 300 carbon credits per year. They do produce more, but we're using some conservative figures here. That's 9,000 carbon credits. Let's say at around market price minimum of $6. You take that over the 30-year contract, that's 54,000 per hectare over 30 years that particular hectare will produce, and you've helped kick off that system with just as little as $120. Now CCN has access to millions of hectares, so you can imagine the company's worth on paper. The carbon credit value that comes from these hectares produces a lot of what we call social and financial benefits for the local and wider communities. We're talking job creation, local economic benefits from infrastructure that's put in place. There's business branding opportunities for big businesses to get involved with this. There's benefits to the environment through halting of destruction and the shoring up of good land management practices, and there's many social benefits that flow from all of that. Now according to a study by the College of London, it shows that the financial and social goodwill produced by just 1 carbon credit could be as high as $600, and there's a report available from that, and that's on our website. So if we take that in mind, these are all the benefits. This is the wheel, the benefit wheel here. You can see the social impact, the economic impact, and the environmental impact, and everything that flows outwardly from that. And just from the production of 1 carbon credit, there's a social economic value created of $600 per carbon credit according to this study. Now just keep that figure in mind. Each hectare produces a social and financial benefit of around $600. Now, like everything that's out there in the marketplace, there's timelines for everything. You get in early, get in late, that type of thing. But here is actually a graph. It's in 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 parts. It goes over time, and this is when you're out there looking to identify, to get in on things before the rush, so to speak. Timing is everything, they say. And here's the 5 segments. There's the innovators, early adopters, early majority, late majority, and the people that come along after it's pretty much all over. Right now we're in the innovator section. This is where the risk takers and visionaries are. We've been in business for 4 years now. We're only just getting started. We've had 4 years of research and development, trial and error, and that's in the innovation stage. So it's time for the early adopters to take a look at our business right now and get in before we have this tremendous growth curve. The 2 areas that we're looking at right now, they're enormous financial potentials in the conservation area, and also what we call the financial sector as well. Now, we offer a shop and save system through various formats: the little green discount card, our custom MasterCard, and also our little green token, which is something you'll get to learn a bit more about as we go along. Now, the little green token is something that we're using to drive our business into phase 2. The little green token is representative of all the conservation efforts that the company does. Each one of these little tokens is proof that hectares of forest have been saved. Now, just so you know, phase 1 we started in Europe as a trial run, and that was back in 2011. Thousands of hectares were saved by those early members, and many land management agreements were put in place. So phase 2 goes into Asia Greater, and now what we have is a carbon credit backed cryptocurrency. We have new global business partnerships, and we have peer-to-peer business-to-business value solutions. So what we've done is we've married virtual currencies to carbon credits, so that currency represents conservation work done and carried out. It's actually, for each one of the tokens that exist, it's proof that forests have been saved. So we're dealing with this right now, where we don't go into forest planting projects. We believe that the big work right now is to save what's still standing and make sure more of it does not get destroyed. This is the area that we want to save. It's pristine forests, and from these pristine forests there's many areas of commercial benefits that can be derived. It's just a jigsaw puzzle that we put together. There's only one thing missing, and that's you. And all of this underwrites the value of the little green token that we put out into the marketplace. People can use and spend, just like the famous Bitcoin. So big problems equals big opportunity. China and America, who would think that they would agree that this is a problem that needs to be handled by two of the world's biggest superpowers? Is there a market? How big is it? These are the sort of questions to be asking ourselves. Can we cash in on what these countries, governments and big business are looking at right now? Yes, we can. These are some of the figures that we're looking at right now. These figures are a little bit old. They're going back 10 years now. The markets have doubled and tripled on top of that, but we're talking trillions of dollars. And this is the World Bank quotes, international monetary funds. We're going back a while. We'd like to update these figures, but they could see how big the markets were back then. They're even bigger now. So that's just the overview of why Conservation Central Network has gone down the track it's gone down, why we're in the business that we're in right now, who else is interested in this. And the good thing about this is the media exposure that we have right now. It's in the market, in the news every day. So as a topic of conversation, it's easy to talk about. The real kicker is when you talk to people and say, listen, how would you like to make money saving forests and being involved in conservation? So the next part talks about wealth strategies, and then the next part after that is about the cash flows. So thanks for your attention. Stand by for part 2, which talks about wealth strategies.